Hello everyone, I'm Breathy1322 and this video serves as an update to the fastest Criminal Enterprises DLC videos where I show the best fully upgraded Criminal Enterprises DLC cars in terms of lap time and top speed. For all the information you need about this series, check those original videos, but otherwise let's see where the new Kanjo SJ and Postlude fall into that list. Because both have been released today, so first up is the Postlude and it is the new slowest coupe in the game for both lap time and top speed. It's small enough that it could easily have gone into the compacts class in my opinion, given its size, and while it would, still be way off the pace even in compacts, it would at least have other cars to compete with further down the order. As it is though, it's easily the slowest coupe, and with a top speed of 103 miles per hour, it's a full 5 miles per hour down on the next slowest coupe for top speed, which ironically is the Kanjo SJ, but we'll come on to that. Speaking of the Kanjo SJ, it fares a little better for lap time than it does for top speed, but it's still only good enough for 14th in the class. It sits right at the bottom tier of the class, or what used to be the bottom tier before the Postlude made another tier necessary all to its own. Now, both of these cars are also considered tuners, at least insofar as you unlock their trade prices via leveling up in the car meet, and you can set them to lowered stance in the interaction menu. But currently they actually can't be used in tuner class races. Whether that's an oversight we'll see, but yeah, I mean, not that you'd want to use them in tuner races anyway. The top tuners are even faster than the top coupes. When it comes to the Kanjo's top speed, it's good enough for second slowest in the coupes class, meaning that if it wasn't for the Postlude it would be the slowest, and it also means that both of these cars have lower top speeds than every other pre-existing car in the coupes class. Keep in mind that these cars are tuners, but they haven't had the top speed limiter advanced flag applied to them like all the other tuners did in an attempt to slow them down. So setting these cars to lowered stance does actually improve their top speeds at the expense of cornering ability, like what used to be the case with the other tuners. It's only by 2 to 3 miles per hour though, so it's not really worth it for these cars, and since low grip tyres don't give an increase to speed anymore, it can't be combined with that anyway, so it's not really a big deal. If anything, it shows that the other tuners don't really need that top speed limiter flag anymore. One of the worst things honestly about these two cars is that they're not even that nice to drive. It's fine if a car is slow, if it's at least an interesting and pleasant driving experience. We saw that with the recent Brioso 300 wide body, which is actually the only car that's slower than these two from this DLC so far, but it was much nicer to drive and more fun. But both of these cars are afflicted by the same problem as some of the not so nice to drive muscle cars that we've seen, as well as things like the Asbo and the Blister Kanjo, where the toe values of the wheels mean that the car can jerk off in random directions left and right every time it hits a bump. It's not as bad when it's on the lowest suspension, which is the same fix that was needed for the Asbo, but it's still a problem. Keep in mind that you do need the lowest suspension for both of these cars, which also means you've got to have that crazy camber on the wheels. That's for the best performance and obviously helps with the jerking around in different directions every time you hit a bump. Rockstar did knock it out of the park with the Previan, which was the very first new coupe to be added to the game in 5 years, and then they followed it up with a great HSW upgrade to the Sentinel XS. But these two new coupes now really leave a lot to be desired performance wise. They do have good customization though, so at least that's something I suppose. But that's pretty much it for this one. Consider supporting on Patreon or become a YouTube member if you want testing results early. And remember to read the description for more info, comment with your thoughts, like the video if you enjoyed it, found it helpful, and subscribe for more. Thank you all so much for watching, I really do appreciate it, and I'll see you next time.